Okay, good to have you back. We're going to continue our conversations on consultations that explode your pay. Lesson 3, the opening statement, part 1. If you haven't already done so, I want you to go back to listen to the last conversation because I'm going to go on the supposition that you had. That one was all about 3 parts of top 20 signature consultation. This particular lesson, we're going to be taking that part in the last conversation called opening statements, and we're going to put that underneath the microscope. And as you recall, in the opening statement, we said that every good opening statement in a signature consultation must contain 2 points. Point number 1, you are promising your guest a look which is going to make them feel great, as well as a look that your guest is going to be able to recreate at home. Now, as we get into the script, when you really think this through, there's 2 environments that we're going to be using opening statement. One is when the guest is new. It's a non-request guest, a guest you don't have history with, and or a referral guest. Now, while that guest requested you, you have no history. So, of course, the consultation, the opening statement is going to be a lot more formal. There's going to be another lesson I'm going to give you where we're going to take the idea of opening statement and we're going to apply it to a repeat guest. We're not going to have that conversation now. Repeat guests, especially those guests that have become friends over time, it's become, less formal, more casual. We're going to show you how to use an opening statement to bring it back to where it was before. Having said that, let me give you the script for the new and referral guest. Now, I'm going to read it, and it's going to sound a little bit scriptish, if you will, and then we'll do a little bit of an anatomy, and I'll show you how to make it your own voice. So I'm going to read it exactly as it is. Amelia, because this is my first time working with you, I want to make sure that 2 things happen for you. Number 1, to give you a great look that you're really going to enjoy, get a lot of compliments on. And number 2, I want to teach you how to recreate your new look at home so that you can continue to enjoy it. So before we begin today, I want to ask you a handful of questions about your hair. Your answers are going to help us to find a look that's going to work for you, as well as help me to know what I need to teach you to recreate your look. How's that sound to you, Amelia? All right, I'm going to get out of the role play now. Now, I know what you're thinking. It sounds kind of robotish, and I get it. Out of nothing, I'm trying to create something. The idea is that you're going to translate this in your own native speak, right? Your own native tongue, so that when you say it, you can be genuine. But I wanted to at least give you some words to build on. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to go back on that opening statement, and I want to break it up a little bit so that you can see there's a whole bunch going on in that 10-second, 15-second window of time. Amelia, because this is my first time working with you, I want to make sure that 2 things happen for you. Notice that this was for your client, not from the client. This is what I want for them. What you want from them is, rebooks and, upsells and referrals and all that. But Amelia's not interested in that. She's interested in what you want for her. Number 2, and this is the biggie. When we look at that first point you're making, to give you a great look, notice I didn't say haircut, a great look. Looks include additional services. So later on in the consultation, we're going to actually be making a service offering. This particular point sets the stage for that so that when we go there, it doesn't sound like a pitch. The other thing it does, and this is really cool, is that this look that we're going to give you, we're going to begin to create it today, but I want to rebook you for another service that you can come in for sooner rather than later so that we can stand on the shoulders of what we created today. This look is going to be a work in progress. Next point, retail. This is where the retail comes in. When you're saying to your guests that you want to teach them how to recreate their look when they're on their own, don't look now, but you've set the stage for retail. You're going to be teaching them what you do and what you use to support what you do. So when you get to that part of the visit, it sounds and feels more like you're teaching them rather than pitching them or selling them. Other point, big time. You can see there's a lot going on in this opening statement. You're getting their permission before you begin to inquire. You're saying, so before we begin, I want to ask you a handful of questions about your hair. And you're giving them the big why. Your answers are going to help us to find the look that you're going to enjoy. And your answers help me to determine what I need to teach you so that you can recreate the look at home. And then last but not least, gaining agreement. How's that sound to you? You're getting kind of a buy-in that we both agree now that this is how we're going to work together. It's a profound way of setting the stage. Now, the idea then is for you to, when you're saying this, be mindful of where you're standing. I love when we're doing opening statements, whether you're sitting down or standing up, there's eye contact. It's face to face. It's reducing the distance. You're using your guest's name. All important parts of when you're doing this in real time so that it not only sounds and feels genuine and authentic, it is genuine and authentic. Now, the other thing is that when you're using an opening statement, be very, very mindful of mere talk. I think mere talk works when you're either engaged in casual conversation, maybe you're teaching them, but too much mere talk, you're avoiding eye contact, and frankly, sometimes the guest finds that a bit confusing. They don't know who to look at, your reflection or you. So, having said that, what I want you to do now is I want you to go into over the top the text. You're going to find, if you'd like to help you, page 141, there's a worksheet that you can use to write out your opening statement for your first time guests. And when you're doing that, if you want, sit down with someone and have them help you think through, how do I put this in my own speak? When Michael Cole says it, it might sound something like, this is my first time working with you, and I just want to take a couple minutes to really talk about how I work with my guests. So there's two things I want to make sure happen for you. When you leave, you go home with a great look that you're going to love, but also a look that you're going to be able to recreate. I want to teach you how to take care of your look. Does that make sense? So with your permission, I want to ask you a handful of questions, and they're simple questions. What you like, don't like about your hair, what's working for you now, what isn't working for you. Your answers are going to help us both land on a look that's going to work, but it's also going to help me to get real clear about what I need to teach you to be able to recreate your look on your own. Does that make sense? Can we do that? Now you can see I just kind of naturalized that. I've said that thousands of times, and I've coached thousands of service providers on how to work that principle. The single most neglected part of a consultation, my friends, is the opening statement. This is why you want to begin to integrate that on all of your new guests. You're going to be practicing this. Don't think it, ink it, practice it. Memorize the essence of it so that in real time when you're saying it, it really sounds and feels and very much is authentic and genuine. And then the biggie, make a commitment to yourself to begin using your opening statement so that sooner rather than later, anytime you're serving a new guest or a referral guest that's coming in, it is now a big part of your chairside manner. Last but not least, you want to learn from this, so not only track the results you're getting, but also any experience that you're getting from it. This is called learning to learn. This is how you're going to get better at this. So let's say that after 5 or 6 times, you've noticed in yourself it's beginning to feel a little bit natural. You're beginning to see that your guests are responding a lot more favorably to your offerings. So you want to journal that, because that's going to help solidify things, as well as track at the end of the day, the end of the week. Did you or did you not? Were you able to be more effective in whether it's your additional service offerings, your retail offerings, your referral offerings? So all of this will go a long way to help you to get that straight. So between now and the next time we meet, I'd like you to get your fingers in this a little bit. And the next time we get together, I'm going to show you how to apply opening statements to your repeat guests, especially those that you've made friends. So I'll see you then.